Sofia LightJewel with the March 2022 Light Language Forecast and Light Language Activation. And I am really happy to be with all of you here today. And let's begin by doing a centering. So we begin this transmission together in the same frequency connected to the heart and your divine light. So I want you to place both feet on the earth if you're sitting down. And I want you to bring both hands into your heart center. Let's take a deep breath in together, connecting into your physical heart. Breathing in and breathing out as you tune into your physical heart. Connecting to your divine light, with your divine presence, your loving awareness. Connected to the earth and the sky. Grounded in your loving presence. Listening through your heart. Listening from your heart. Connecting from your heart into your light. Accepting the wholeness of who you are in unconditional love right here, right now. Beautiful. Taking a deep breath in and breathe out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And so, the month of March, can you believe, first of all, can you believe that we are on March, right? Right now? I feel like, well, time's been shifting. The way we perceive time has been shifting. There's certain ways that it feels so fast, and in other ways feels like in one day feels like a whole lifetime. And so the energy of March, I felt the message was so strong that it's about facing our fears, just stepping into the places where we truly have been fearing. There's an energy of like a karmic clearing that is happening in your internal world, patterns of behavior from this paradigm that has been alive in our society for such a long time, that it's about going outside to the external world to do in order to have, in order to validate yourself and for others to validate your own value from the results that you achieve and the outcome that you achieve in relationship with what you're doing and what you're having, what you get from that action. And so we're clearing this deep conditioning that it has been a program that it's been part of the society for many years. And so in relationship to breaking down that pattern into the pattern that is coming from your being, your essential being, your divine being, your true essence, and honoring authenticity, your emotional authenticity, and learning about your emotions and following that guidance system and trusting the energy that is yet not manifested. So beginning as we continue to begin to trust in the light within us, around us, and the energy that is in creation from the infinite to the finite form. There's this new level of trust that we are learning to connect with ourselves, to trust in life and to trust to your own inner guidance, to your own inner wise one and the inner teacher within. And so we are becoming these beacons of light, these leaders of light for your life first. So learning new ways of setting a foundation of love for yourself to do this work, this process of breaking down all those paradigms in order that at the same time, in that multidimensionality of life that we're living in, it's also at the same time building that new way of being with yourself, that spinal cord that is connected to your divine cord, to unconditional love, to your divine light in this human form. And so facing your fears right now is that time where the hero has been called to the adventure outside the comfort zone, and it's facing the dragons, all those fears. So at the beginning of the journey, there's all this doubt, and then as it moves forward and begins to gain confidence, and then as it continues to grow throughout that journey, continues to face those dragons, the dragons of their own conditioning, of their own psyche, that ultimately are part of the liberation and the growth. And so we have been connecting and facing all these dragons, as you can see worldwide. People are standing up, they're using their voice, there's a certain level of intensity, and there's a certain level of extremes in the world right now where there's this contraction and opening, this pulling and contraction and expansion in the world right now, that's almost like it has speed up. And you might be one that it's kind of emotionally, energetically, mentally, and physically drained this month and the whole year, because don't forget, this year of 2022, it's about your connection with your strength of your heart, becoming that leader of love in your life for yourself and the world, as a new way of being with yourself, that requires balance. So learning about the balancing of the polarities in your life, the polarities in your emotional world, in your mental, in your spiritual, in your physical world, energetically, just learning how to balance the working and the overworking with the relaxation, the energy with the masculine with the feminine, all the polarities. So we're learning how to balance that energy during this year, as we are tuning in more and more to become that beacon of light as a leader of love. That is the way that we're calling in to humanity's being called in to be on the planet right now, on the earth. And so from this facing your fears, different ways that will support you during this month as the fears continue to show up for yourself. One is taking care of your energetic body, so tuning into when you need moments of silence, moments of rest, moments in nature, and then when that kind of burst of expansion and connection comes and you feel creative, stepping into your creativity. And so the fears that come in, first being very gentle with yourself and compassionate with yourself. So it's about accepting yourself, just as we did at the beginning, accepting yourself through the foundation of accepting yourself in this present moment through the unconditional love that you have for yourself. And so in that fear, facing your fears is going to be really key. And I'll share at the end of the video today, because I will be offering group process where you're going to be able, and you'll have the opportunity to face your fears in a sacred space, in a container together, and each one of you will have the opportunity to move through your own personal fears, but in togetherness, in unity, and in a safe container. And I will be guiding you through the process as well, on how to do this in a way that you can apply it for today, and you can apply it for the rest of your life as well. And so recognizing that fear is not your enemy, it's not against you, it's actually working with you. The fear is an energy that it's a learned pattern that is protecting you. So in whatever way that's coming, it's protecting you. And the fear that you feel in your body is a structure of the energy of fear that now has a structure in your physical body. And so that's why it's embodied emotion. You feel fear in your body, and so it becomes real in this present moment, even though fear is actually a projection on the future. It's not happening in this present moment. It's happening in your thoughts, and through your thoughts and the emotion is becoming created. You're creating an actual structure, a tangible structure in your body where it becomes alive in your present moment. And so I'll be sharing a little bit about this during the course. So if you're intrigued and interested, I'll be leaving the details below, and I'll be also sharing a little bit more towards the end of the video. So the second piece is, as I mentioned, the heart connection, and we are being called to our authentic expression. And I mentioned a little bit about the emotional authenticity. This kind of word has been coming up as I was tuning in for March. As a way to tune in to your emotional authenticity is to return home to your body, return home to your own connection, and to give space to your emotional body, to your emotional aspect of who you are, because the emotions are the language of your soul. And for so long, we have been living from the head up. We have valued intelligence over the wisdom of your emotions, over your intuitive guidance, over your sensitivity at an emotional level. Even though the way we speak and communicate with one another comes from a frame of knowing how the intelligence and rationality, instead of thinking your way through a conversation or life, instead of feeling your way through life. And so life in a way is calling us to that most embodied aspect of who you are, into your body, therefore into the language of your emotions. And so emotional authenticity here, it's gonna be key, because through your emotions, you're beginning to learn the language of your soul. You're beginning to deepen your connection with yourself and your own divine nature. Through the emotions, knowing that there's no good emotions are not negative emotions. All emotions are actually wise. There's a wisdom behind every single emotion, because they're informing you something about yourself. The piece here is that we have learned when there's an ache in our body, what do? We take a pill. If I have a headache, I take an Advil. So we haven't taken the time, and we haven't been taught the way to tune in and begin to listen to your body and to your emotions, what is communicating with you, because your body is an amazing technology. Your emotions is an amazing technology that is there and available for you. So coming back to this place of the heart and emotional authenticity, which speaks about cultivating emotional well-being and tuning in to that relationship and your understanding of your own emotional world and landscape. And so let's say there's a moment in your life where you feel triggered. Something happened perhaps with somebody else, that at work you were having a conversation and something the other person said triggered you. That's an opportunity to tune into the emotional authenticity. And this is, how am I feeling? The first step is just checking in. What are you feeling right now? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it fear? What is it? Once you identify your emotion in your emotional sensation, just tune in to the emotion and identify it and naming it. Okay, I'm feeling anxious right now, or I'm feeling frustrated right now. This is key, because this will also help you to begin to communicate from emotional authenticity to another being, which also connects you from a place of vulnerability, courage, strength, is you begin to build a communication from that is heart-centered. Because as you're tuning into the emotions and bringing the language of the emotion, that's a place where we can all connect with one another. Everybody has felt frustrated. Everybody has felt anger and fear and love and anxiety in their life. So it's a place of connection and knowing one another from a place of emotion instead of a place of judgment from the thinking realm. The mind can be tuned into the fear, but when you bring down the energy into the heart, there is no fear here. There is connection. There is empathy. There's compassion. And so from here, this is what the authentic, emotional authenticity can bring and open up for you as well. And so once you identify the emotion, the next step is to feel it. Allow yourself to feel the emotion. Allow yourself to accept the emotion. Don't fight it. Don't deny it. Don't repress it. It's there, I'm feeling right now this emotion. Is it frustration? Is anger? I'm feeling my frustration. I'm feeling my anger. I'm feeling my fear. Allow it to be there. And then the next step is just getting the wisdom from the emotion. What is this frustration telling me, showing me about myself, about this situation? It's no longer about the other person. It's what the experience is gifting you. And the emotion is there to inform you. Just like an alarm in the panel of your car is just signaling that there's something out of whack within your whole system. And it's about you. It's not about the other person. And so now when you engage with that person, you can say, when this happens, I feel anxious or I feel frustrated when this happens. Or when I feel afraid when this happens. And so you begin to share yourself and the other from a place of connection with yourself and a place of wanting to deepen a connection with the other person as well. And so that's the other piece. And so bringing this creativity rising, and this creativity rising from a place of authentic emotional authenticity, the creation begins to be more like from what emotional state of being are you creating? It's not about what are you creating. It's not about the result or the outcome. It's more from what emotional state are we beginning to create as we are connecting to our heart center, as we're moving together, facing the fears and envisioning higher love and higher life for humanity upon planet Earth. And so as the level of connection to the heart, the intention and the emotional state of being shifts within you and in the planet, the level of creativity, the frequency, the energy begins to shift as well. Our creations begin to shift. So there's going to be a new level of innovation in the technology and creativity outpour into the earth as we begin to tune in into this new way of being as a leader of love that is connected to that emotional authenticity, connected to the heart, connected to from where, what is the origin and the inspiration, from what emotional state of being I am creating from. Is it from fear or is it of love? Is it from my head or is it from my heart? From where? Is it from my divine channeling? Is it from fear to fix something? And so that's another piece. And so as I mentioned, the karmic clearing, that's gonna bring shifts of energy and vibration within us all, in the land as well. For that, this brings the whole theme, because as I mentioned, the energy of this year, it's about balance and harmony and connecting to, as a leader of love, to the strength of your heart. And so in this, balance is key. How are you nourishing yourself? How are you nurturing yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? Energetically, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So in all areas of your life, just looking, how are you nurturing? How are you taking care of yourself in your own relationship with yourself and your relationship with the world and life at large? And so creating practices where you're nourishing daily your connection to your heart, your connection to your spirit, your connection with gratitude, love, and appreciation, your connection with your mental, with how am I thinking? How am I being with my thoughts towards myself? How am I being loving and encouraging? Or I'm being in the paradigm of judging and punishing myself? So paying attention with your thoughts. Are you having times where you're in nature and you can just relax and flow? Are you times where you having a nap when you have a nap, when you need to have a nap and your body's asking you to have a nap? What foods are you eating? What things are you interacting with? Are you balancing interactions that are nourishing and perhaps interactions that are not as nourishing? Places where are completely bringing you to a place of balance, and where are you taking your body, where are you taking your energy towards, what are you exposing yourself, your body and energy to, and becoming more and more aware, noticing if you have something sweet towards the end of the day, that sugar maybe affects your sleep quality. If you watch a certain movie towards the end of the day, then your sleep affects and your whole vibration. Perhaps if you have been focused on really focusing your vibration in love and increase your level of vibration, perhaps certain things are creating an impact. And so noticing the details and the subtle energies about from your energy system and how it affects you. So not only balancing things in the regular day, but noticing the subtle energies that bring you balance and cultivate balance within yourself. So I'm going to leave you at that. And I will join you on the light language activation. Thank you. So let's begin for the March light language activation. To begin, let's place both feet on the earth. I want you to bring both hands to your heart center. Let's take a deep breath in into the heart and exhale through your mouth this time. And I'm going to invite you to just release everything from your day today. Just give it to the earth. Just place it in the earth to rest. Return this energy to source. Any excess energy, you can return it to source. Okay. So this light language activation is going to bring a healing, and we're going to be working with attuning your vibrational energy system to bring harmony and rebalancing your vibrational system and your light body, and help you in the process of this karmic clearing and balancing into this authentic emotional expression of your heart center, and moving from this place of connectedness to your heart as a leader of love. So let's begin. Inia I ti ia ko or insinia toyala on intua amproyai isiniwa eheya anantua remai ishitua yalakwa anai tuanei urutua ahi iri isia tanaya initua alei ti ikria omai inshia tu ul o ia kodoi anaya unia kumaya lakohan iria tuya kwa entua istia unia tuya lawana ia are tuya omai Iri tuaya la kuahante ea no arayena kuaya la kuai. Iri atuaya na waya la keya yaraya tuana la kia yara tuaya lai. Ini aya umanara ya la tia la kuaya la ni akura yata ya to ishtia ya la. Iri atuaya la humaya la hiara kuaya la tia ya la kuane. Ori atuana te ya la. Ini ayota ya la kuai. Ini ataya ya shini atua ya lawan, ori atua ya lakon dia es dia dia shai, iri atuni dia ya kwa ai ko oria o shini atua ya la kwa ai, o pria wala kwa la kwa na atua ya ne tua dia la kwa ya makuro, itria yure dia la kwa ne re kudia, o dia tura la prio ai kinira tua shini ya wala kwa maniaka, ini tura do ni wa ko la ni da dia ya to bro pinya shini ore de o dia ta yo mlakwa. Omria tu ya la kuena tria ya la kuria tu ya na shinia la wade ya wani unya la creo tu ya la kuena unya ro ya tu ya la amia sho tu ya la kuena tu ya la kuena na ini ya kuya la kuatia ta ya la kuena ni ya la kuena na omria ko la kia hani ya la tu ya la kuena aya tu la kia na tu la ni ya shua ni ya wa maya omria tu ya la kuena tu ya la kuya mira kuria tia tata Iria was yana nora, Briella quiet, Ginia qua. Emilia quiet, Hamania, Tatsawina, Nana Yala Koya, Amelia Hala Yala Yala. Ila Yanoya, Ria Tuela, Tiala, Tiala, Tiala. Ishia Koya Muya. Oniata ia, opriata ia ya, omniane, orionia toya koyala, ria humate yota ya koya hum, riatini shiata ya tayala koyanai, riatini atoyala ya koyale, ria hena yala ya humayala ya. Umriale, iriate no yato ya ho hiarai, iria haye, tiria haye ya, opi opa ya ko ya maye, maye no hiato ya la oi. Taking a deep breath in into the heart center. Breathing in and breathing out, inhaling one more time into the heart center, inhaling and exhaling through your heart center, inviting another deep breath, inhaling into your heart and exhaling from the front of your heart, from the back of your heart, from your entire lower body and your upper body. One more time, inhaling as you inhale into the heart, exhaling from the front of your heart, your back heart, your front, your top whole body, your whole head, exhaling and exhaling from the whole bottom as well. Beautiful. In all directions, expanding around you. Beautiful. Finally, I just want to share a few offerings that I have for the month of March. And that is, as I mentioned before, is Facing Your Fears. And that is on Friday, March 11 and March 18th. So we're going to meet for 90 minutes, hour and a half. Together, we're going to go through some processes. You're going to be taking also some homework to work throughout the week. And we come together on the 18th and we do another process as well together. And I'll leave all the information. So basically, this is to connect to facing your fears, learning a process where you can take with yourself, where you can apply this process over and over through your life. And also joining together in a sacred container. The more people we gather, there's an energy that we come together with the intention to face your fears. So already there's an intention and an energy holding you to move through that process. And so on March 4th, that's a Friday again, Matthew and I are joining forces again to do another Council of All Beings and Sound Healing Journey. If you haven't had the experience, it's a beautiful experience to reconnect and re-earth your own connection to the earth, into the natural world, and bring the wisdom of the earth forward. As we speak this connection and this wisdom from the mountain, from the trees, the crystals, and so on, we bring this wisdom forward, and we're remembering our connection to the consciousness of the earth. We're connecting to that inner wisdom that exists within us, our interconnectedness with all life. And if you haven't had the experience to listen and experience Matthew Cosell music, it's absolutely powerful. It takes you to such a deep state of connection and healing. So I'm really happy to be doing this work with him again. And as always, I am offering the Awaken to the Language of Light training, and this is the awakening on your connection to your own connection to your own divine soul and your own unique expression, the language of your soul, the language of light through you. And that is opening again on September, and the registration is open right now. And it's a 9 weeks journey. It's a powerful and beautiful journey. And to me, it's really life transforming. Connecting to your divine story brings a whole new perspective into your life. And it brings a whole new level of tools into your life, especially at this time as well. And lastly, I am always offering one-on-one coaching sessions focus on your emotional well-being and your spiritual journey that I call Empower Love, that it's all about connecting to your heart and removing and melting all those barriers that we have built through our conditioning, that it's kind of dimming the light and disconnecting you to your true essential self, that pure light that you are. And so when you begin to kind of remove those barriers to your heart, and you begin to reframe stories, and you begin to step into new levels of connection, of understanding, of attitudes as well in your life, you begin to create results from a different place. It's no longer about changing actions. It's about tuning in to your own true essential self. And from that perspective that is connected to love, you begin to make different choices in your life, and therefore access new results in your life. And as always, I share light language. You can find my meditations on Insight Timer. You can find lots of videos here on YouTube. And if you sign to my newsletter, you receive at the end of the month during the full moon a wisdom story. There's also lots of support that you get throughout the month. And you become also part of the Empower Love Way community. So sending you lots and lots of love. Continue to holding on to your vision. Continue to empowering yourself in love. Find all the gentle ways and to continue to receive yourself in compassion and love and forgiveness and kindness over and over again. And continue finding the beauty in yourself, in your life, and the world. Bye-bye.